What's up, guys? My name is Scott. Today we are making venison back strap fajitas in the mountains of Colorado. Let's get to it. Someone wrecked my favorite fire pit, which is a huge bummer, honestly. So, just taking a little bit of time to rebuild it here. Good as new. So, now we are after some decent firewood. I have my saw, just in case, but we're looking for wood on the ground that we don't have to cut up too much. And honestly, there's kind of a lot of it. Like there's a bunch of aspens over here. This will be great. We're just sawing some logs here for the cooking fire. Nice. We're after logs that are like maybe a foot, not too big, not too small, just about right. Just to build a log cabin. So right now we're just putting the fire starter in the bottom of the campfire, and then we'll build up the log cabin fire. The log cabin fire is my favorite way to do a cooking fire just because it burns so evenly and so nicely. And we'll just take our logs from earlier and we'll just build up a little structure all around it. All right. Nice, looks good, getting going. We'll add some more wood to it here in a second, but we have a great start. You know, I feel like everybody buys these gigantic coolers, and I really use this cooler mostly for just a table. I definitely should use it more as a cooler, but it's a pretty good seat also. Okay, so I think I told you guys we're making a fajita recipe with venison, a venison backstrap that I harvested from a doe in Michigan back in December. So this is what we have her soaking in right now. I just made a really basic marinade of orange juice, lime juice, garlic, a little Worcestershire in there. So we're just breaking down the compound a little bit, and she's been soaking for like, I don't know, a couple hours now. So I'm super excited. I've made this one before, and it is delicious. Boom, we've got a red bell pepper. We've got a nice big onion. We've got a poblano just to add a little bit of differentiation in flavor and texture. So I'm super excited for that. And then, yeah, we've got some tortillas and obviously a little cilantro to finish her off. And then some of my favorite fajita sauce out there. It is so good. Honestly, it's like impossible to beat. I wouldn't have any other sauce other than this one. So, does great. Let's get to it. And then we're doing half an onion. Honestly, like, these onions are so big, you don't need a whole one. Just pull that top layer off. And then nice big slices, super easy. Nothing too crazy. Now, I really love these poblanos. They are super tasty. They're a little bit hotter than a bell pepper, which is kind of what I'm after, honestly. And then these guys, I just do like one big slice through. Nothing crazy. It's hard to slice from this angle. There we go. A little more leverage. Boom. Veggies. Done. So we're going to let these coals burn down, and then I will show you guys my favorite way to set up a camp cook over the campfire. Should be good. You kind of want a nice wide bed of coals. You don't need a big flame. You want like nice even spacing, and you should be good to go. I know these are so dorky, but they really help. Just don't touch the tip of this after, otherwise you will burn the shit out of your hand, like I have many times. Do this instead. Boom. You can definitely cook over rocks and coals and all that stuff, but a fireproof pair of gloves and a grate make your life so much easier when you're first starting out as a camp cook. I would definitely recommend getting something like this. This is kind of a dialed setup, but yes, you can get cheaper versions, different versions, all sorts of stuff. Just makes your surface even, and it makes cooking so much easier. Now, one of my favorite pots to use is this double-sided Dutch oven that is so cool to use because it's got a main side and then it's got a big, it's like two pans in one basically, which is awesome. So main cooking surface right here, bada boom, and secondary cooking surface, which is amazing. Now you may have noticed that the interior of the pan is a little rusty, and that's okay. I mean, they're super hard to clean. They're unfinished cast iron, so I just pour a little bit of oil in here. You try and keep it nice and dry, but sometimes a little bit of moisture gets in there and you're kind of just hosed. So the oil normally evens everything out and lets the surface heat up evenly. Again, these fireproof gloves are kind of super important just for all sorts of management of the flame, and it gets really hot, super duper hot. So it's just nice to know that you're going to be not getting torched. But yeah, I like to do the inside of the pan as much as possible. Get a good layer of oil in there. I mean, I'm sure some people will say rust is bad for you, but I haven't died yet. I like to hit both pans with a little vegetable oil. You want to use a super high heat oil because olive oil will destroy your pans. You need something with a super high smoke point that will be easy to control, comparatively speaking. So now that we have our pans heating up, we're gonna pull out the back strap from our marinade and let it, or slice it up real thin. Oh, it smells so good. Now, you want to be careful about cross-contamination, obviously. This is a little different than, I would say, poultry. I wouldn't do this with wild turkey or anything, but it looks super tasty, nice and marinated. We'll go ahead and slice it up and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, look at that. So you can see with the color that the marinade has started to penetrate, which is exactly what you want. And you want to go nice and thin. So there's no fat basically on venison at all, which means you really want to have a little supplemental fat in there, oil, butter, really whatever you want. And the marinade really helps moisten the meat and make it easier to cook and eat and gives it a nice flavor. We'll hit it with like a taco seasoning before this too. It's a super basic taco seasoning. There's essentially two ways to cook venison. You can do super hot and super fast, but you have to have really thin cuts of meat like this, or you can do low and slow and you can do gigantic big roasts. This recipe also works incredibly well with steak, and it works like better with steak, honestly, because there's just more fat going on, but venison is the perfect game for this also. Now we're doing just a super duper basic taco seasoning. I mean, any of your favorite taco seasonings you can totally use. Get all in those nooks and crannies. All right, the veggies are going in. Nice, fire's picking up, which means the veggies will cook a little faster. And I'm gonna hit them with a little taco seasoning. Boom. Taco seasoning in, and maybe another splash of oil, and you are crushing it. So the vegetables take longer to cook than venison does, which is why we're doing the veggies first. It's about time to throw the venison on. So one more stir here and then we can do it. Boom. All right, I'm gonna pull these because they're done. So we'll pull them off the heat. And we'll just keep working the meat. It's almost done. Getting super duper close. Yeah, that looks amazing. All right, we'll throw this pan back on here, like that. And then we'll add our simmer sauce. And I cannot tell you guys how tasty this stuff is. It is so delicious. Sauce in. Man, I like to add my meat to the simmer sauce. Just really throw it in there. And you have some kick-ass fajitas, man. And of course, you want to hit your tortillas on here. We'll try one grilled and one on the lid. You definitely want to heat up your tortillas. It makes the whole experience much better. I'll throw it just right on this pan here. Then you are ready to plate. Boom. A couple veggies. A little bit of the meat on there. Delicious. Then I like to hit it with a little cilantro. That's pretty good. Oh, look at that. Damn, that looks good. Venison fajitas over the campfire. All right, you guys. First bite of the first fajita. Let's give it a whack. Oh my God. It's so good. That simmer sauce is so delicious. Venison's cooked perfectly. Not too tough, not too chewy. And the veggies aren't overdone either. So we nailed it, and I'm pretty jazzed about that. All right, you guys. I got my fajita. Let's go check out this view. You know, making food in the backcountry over a campfire specifically became one of my favorite things to do over the last couple of years. I run the TikTok for Gerber Gear, and I get to cook out there a bunch. So it's kind of hard to beat. Look at that. All right, you guys, that is the first food video I have done for you. So I am super excited to do more, and I'm gonna go put down a few more of these guys. That's all. Thank you very much. Have a good one.